Hi guys, my name is Akuma and today I'm with a list of the top 10 anime that you need to watch and why. Most of these are made of recent that came out in 2019 or 2020, but some are also late ones. So let's just start the video. To start the list, we have a certain magical index. Academic City is the most technologically advanced place in the world, with 75% of its residents having special abilities, who are called espers. Kamijotoma, on the other hand, with the bad luck he has, is a level 0 esper with no identifiable abilities whatsoever. As such, he tends to live a normal life, trying to attract as little attention to himself as possible, well until he finds a nun collapsed at his balcony. She calls herself Index and claims to have memorized over 100,000 grimoires. Not much later, Kamijo and Index are attacked by a red-haired stranger who calls himself a magician that has been looking to capture Index. Here's the kicker. Kamijo does possess a mysterious ability, which ends up saving him and Index. Made up of 3 seasons, Kamijo enters unfamiliar territories of both magic and science, not knowing what kind of monsters are waiting for him on the other side. On to number 9, we have Devil's Line. You can't detect them, you can't differentiate them, you can't find them. Who? Vampires. Besides the fact that these guys go berserk at the sight of blood, not much is known about them. Along with his partners from Public Division F, Anzai Yuki is responsible for subduing these guys before or when they go berserk. Being a half-breed himself, Anzai believes there should be slim to no contact between humans and vampires. However, when he meets normal high school girl Tsukasa Taira, his world turns upside down. Their romance blossoms pretty quickly, while they struggle to live together in a world that fear and despise his kind. This is a mature content anime, with spot-on as well as unique use of vampire genre, that tells the romance journey of 2 individuals living in 2 totally different worlds. Yes, watching this anime, don't forget to watch after the ending song. There's always something in post-credit. Number 8 on the list is Dr. Stone. You might have heard of it, you might have not. So quick question, what happens when you decide to confess to your crush? A green light envelopes the whole world, and you, your crush, and 7 billion people turn to stone. This is reality for Taiju and his crush Yuzuriha. Contrary to what you're thinking though, this anime is about Taiju's best friend, all-knowing science genius, Ishigami Senku. After waking up from their petrified states, together as brain and brute, Senku plans to revive human civilization with the help of science. However, along the journey, Senku revives a dangerous individual that wishes to destroy Senku's kingdom of science. All the while, the reason for the petrification of the human race is still a mystery. This is a great anime. The use of science in anime is very unique, the jokes and punchlines are hilarious, and the story keeps you on the edge of your seats. This is definitely a top tier anime. Make sure you check it out no matter what. Season 2 coming out, I hope. Number 7 is Wise Man's Grandchild. So I'm going to start this with a question. You're a white collar, which is another term for a 9-to-5 slave, who is tired of your life. How does it change? The correct answer is a truck accident. After being run over by a truck, Shin is reincarnated in the woods where he is found by Wise Man Merlin. Why is he a wise man? You'll know when you watch it. Merlin raises Shin as his own grandson in the woods, secluded for 15 years, and also teaches him magic and martial arts, realizing quickly that Shin has high aptitude and talent for both areas. When Shin turns 15, Merlin decides to send Shin to a magic academy, in the hopes of him socializing with his age group and making some friends. The only problem is, because he spent 15 years in the woods with our wise man, Shin has no social skills and lacks common sense. The fact that he excels in magic by a very high margin than his peers does not make the situation any better. In fact, anytime he does anything normal, he tends to leave everybody flabbergasted from his not-so-average abilities. This anime may seem as an overused genre at first, but the colorful cast and lovable protagonist are more than enough for a first-class isekai anime. Number 6 is Dororo. The story takes place in the age of samurais. A greedy samurai lord sacrifices his second son to 12 demons for the sake of his land to flourish. The boy miraculously survives despite losing all his organs and limbs to the demons. Nonetheless, he is dumped in a river and left to die. Or so we thought, as the mutilated newborn is picked up by a medicine man, who gives him prosthetics and raises him as his own. Although unable to hear, see, or smell, the boy decides a harsh journey to kill the 12 demons scattered throughout Japan and restore himself. Along the journey, he is later accompanied by an orphan child as they look for those demons in an already infested world of vile, vicious, and disgusting creatures. Of course, humans are on this list as well. P.S. There is an older version of this anime in late 1969. Don't watch it. Oh yeah, the opening song of this anime, don't you dare skip it. Okay, to start top 5, number 5 is Cautious Hero. You can never take too many precautions, and that's a mindset I support. And so does Ryuguin Seiya. After being isekai to the world of the gods by a goofy goddess, Seiya is tasked with saving a world under the goofy goddess from destruction. Seiya agrees, but only on the condition that he be given time to train himself. He spends months training, buys piles of potions and tons of armors and weapons, and uses high-level skills for level 1 monsters, then proceeds thoroughly to burn their carcasses. Being paranoid beyond extreme, this dude goes over the top in every single situation. I love this show. This show screams hilarious in every episode, and the cast is unpredictable with their comedic timing and punchlines. This is one of the greatest contributions in the comedy genre. I'll let you watch it and be judge of it. Number 4. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. Shinya Yukimura is a scientist at Saitama University. When his female co-worker, Ayama Himuro, confesses to him, Yukimura, having no prior relationship experience, decides to investigate with Himuro what factors cause opposite sexes to fall for one another. With their colleagues and seniors, the dynamic duo accept the challenge of uncovering the concept of love. Rike Gakoi is the most creative romance anime I've ever seen. The couple are just too lovable and hilarious, and the supporting cast cannot get more colorful. Story does not lack anything, and it does not leave its audiences dissatisfied. It's just a 12-episode anime, and a must for all romance lovers out there. Okay, so number 3 is Bofuri, or I will max my defense to the maxest. One of the most savage and at the same time lovable characters that I have ever seen. After reluctantly accepting an invitation to play New World Online, a VR MMO game, from her best friend Sally, Kaede Honjo enters a new fantasy world. Having zero experience, Kaede decides to allocate her stat points to defense, all of them, which makes her remarkably resilient, but also slower than Turtle and weaker than a hamster. Despite this, she gains various skills like poison immunity, devour, and others that are too good to spoil. In other words, she becomes an extremely overpowered character with the most unorthodox means that are also too good to spoil as well. With her new friends as well as her best friend, Kaede continues the game world and competes in tournaments, performing any feat that is anything but normal. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. This anime has definitely left its mark in the game fantasy genre and comedy genre. The only thing I don't like about it is that it only has 12 episodes. This definitely deserves more. Number 2. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Laid back 21-year-old college student Iwatani Naofumi is suddenly summoned to the Melromark Kingdom as one of the 4 cardinal heroes, namely Shield Hero. Despite being a hero, everybody, including the 3 other heroes, ostracize him for being a shield, and nobody wishes to party with him, except a young lady by the name Malti. The heroes are forming parties so they can train and get stronger to defend the kingdom against the waves, events where otherworld monsters come and attack the kingdom. Fast forward 2 to 3 days, Malti betrays Naofumi, accusing him of a heinous crime he didn't commit, to steal his belongings and money, which he got from the king. Betrayed and humiliated by everyone he trusted, especially Malti, Naofumi is filled with hate and rage. Alone with a tainted reputation, he sets out to get stronger, to fight the waves and survive. Along the journey, he meets genuine people who care for him and support him, while he continues to fight for survival as well as for the burning desire of revenge. It's not always that one gets emotionally involved in anime, but you cannot stop yourself in this. I was so engrossed in this anime that I read the manga from the start. Naofumi is way darker, and black and white pages still bring out the emotional involvement of its audiences to its max. Anime is a bit different, but when season 2 comes, I might not be able to handle the anticipation building up inside me. People will remember this anime as an OG 5 to 10 years from now. I know I will. Take my advice, watch the anime, and if you want to, read the manga from scratch. And number 1 is Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. Normally, only a single individual is isekai'd to another world. 17-year-old Nagumo Hajime and his whole class, including his teacher, is summoned to a fantasy world. Everybody in his class and him are treated like heroes, and many get godlike powers and skills. On the other hand, Hajime seems to have gotten the short end of the stick, as he is a simple synergist with simple transmutation skills, which becomes the main reason of him being ridiculed and bullied. It's even worse, because he's already a hardcore otaku. All of them are tasked with saving the human race from extinction. One day, as a training exercise, they are taken to the labyrinth to fight some monsters. In the midst of a battle, Hajime falls into deep levels of the labyrinth as a result of an accident. Near death's door and deep in the pool of despair, our kind and lovable MC snaps, in doing whatever he can to survive in the depths of hell, and meeting genuine comrades along the way that deeply care for him and support him on his journey. This anime also gets you really emotionally involved. The MC's transition is drastic as fuck. The plot is too much to handle, and the supporting characters' contribution in this anime cannot be given enough credit. They all have their own flair. I read the manga from the start because I just couldn't get enough, and I'm glad I did. Hajime's portrayal in manga is just over the top. He's always darker and aggressive and too cool, because I don't have any other words to describe. I hope season 2 comes out soon. If you guys don't seem to want to watch any anime from this list, please make sure to watch Shield Hero and From Commonplace to World's Strongest.